638 children are to be given new rights to see an absent parent. The government wants to encourage what it describes as a full and continuing relationship with both parents, even when one may have left due to separation or divorce.
To get some more detail, we can speak now to family lawyer Sarah Anticoni. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
What could this change?
It is reported as changing or challenging the Children Act 1989, where for the very first time a welfare principle was set out that the paramount consideration was the welfare of the children. What's discussed now is that the ministers may be going against a report, the Family Justice Review, and suggesting that there should be an equal presumption, that parents can both see children equally.
So, as compared with now, when there is not an equal presumption?
There's no presumption at the moment.
Now, when we talk about an equal presumption, does that mean that fathers, and we're talking mainly about fathers leaving the home and in a number of cases not then seeing their children again, can those fathers now hope that they will get a legal right to see their children?
I think it's probably a misplaced hope. I can quite understand why there are a lot of people who hope that their personal circumstances will change, but I think it's very unlikely there's going to be any new change in the law. The Norgrove Family Justice Review was very clear there isn't going to be a change in the law. The welfare principle was to stay, although there was clearly some disagreement at ministerial level about that.
So what do you think in practice this could mean? Because we're talking about family breakdowns here, which can get toxic, frankly. What can this mean if a mother doesn't want a father to see the children, or goes out of her way, and I'm sure in some cases it is fathers doing that to mothers, but in the majority of cases they go out of their way to stop a parent seeing their children?
The type of circumstances you're describing are far too common, and I think what the report is trying to show, and I think government are in support of that, is to take those disputes out of the court system and to support mediation and other dispute resolution services. But if people are arguing, then they can go to the courts. The question is once they get to the court system, how will judges interpret the best interests of a child? Is that going to help one person or the other, whether it be a mother or a father, see that child? There's clearly an understanding that it is best for a child, for the two most important people in their lives, to have a relationship with them. Those are sustaining relationships and they should be supported. But the safety of the child is the most important factor, and that hasn't changed.
I get the impression from what you're saying that you think that what is being proposed and what's being talked about, frankly, is sort of tinkering rather around the edges and won't make any difference at all.
It seems very unlikely that new legislation would be introduced.
And that would, I mean, would that be useful? Is that the only way to go? Either you change the legislation or you can't do anything at all?
No, I think that's exactly what the government isn't saying. The government had been saying we need to put more money into this system, and the Norgrove report was very clear about that. If you put more money into the system and you support alternative ways of sorting things out, give people more information. The government was very clear that the information available to people who are separating is insufficient. People need to be educated as to how useful a resource parents are to their children.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Interesting to talk that through. Sarah Anticoni.